Now, take a nice deep breath. Relax into this moment right here, right now. And repeat after me. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace.
I open my heart to you.
My heart to the universe, accepting love and
Love and
peace.
peace.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy.
And my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting complete health.
Open my heart to the universe, accepting complete health.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So good morning on this rainy Sunday. It's beautiful out there. The rain is it's coming down. It's going to wash away everything that we don't want, and it's going to nurture all of the beautiful flowers and plants that are going to be growing in the next month. We have practitioners around the Zoom holding the high watch for us, knowing the truth, being present to the truth of the divine. They are holding that high watch. Second practitioner today is Lisa Minor. She will be holding consciousness and then doing the prayer requests for today and for the week. And we have bookends. We have Felicia Karsten as third practitioner, holding consciousness and knowing the truth for all of us. We have Reverend Michael Rogers as our pastoral support, who's doing all the chat work, keeping the chat room going. And we have the other bookend. Chuck Karstens is our first practitioner. And thank you all for being here and holding the consciousness. If you have any fears, doubts, limitations, worries, let them go. Let the practitioners have them. Let them go for at least this time that we're sitting here. Let them pray over them. Let them know the truth of them, because we're caught up in the reality of those conditions when the practitioners know the truth. So let them have it. Let it go. Enjoy the service. If you want to take them back at the end of the service, you're more than welcome to. If not, let them go. So we're going to start with our invocation with Chuck Karstens.
Good morning, everybody. It's so nice to see you all here on this beautiful day, knowing that even though it's raining here, I know the sun is shining on some of us somewhere. Beautiful, glorious day. And so I invite you to close your eyes. And as we relax into prayer, let us feel gratitude for this new and wonderful day, as we know that this day is a gift and a blessing. For God has created this new day. God has created a masterpiece and bestowed it upon each and every one of us as a gift. So this day is absolutely filled with unlimited potential for healing and wholeness and wellness, potential for new spiritual awakening. And so as we celebrate this service, we know that this service is a celebration of this new day, and it is a celebration of the gifts, of all the gifts that God brings into our lives. And so we know that God is right here now orchestrating this service, that this service is the activity of God. And I know that every aspect of this service is divinely inspired and divinely guided. As our music is beautiful today, as Norman Taylor sings to us with the voice of God and connects with each and every one. And I'm so thankful for Reverend Paul as he leads this service today. We know that he is divinely guided and divinely inspired. And our very special guest speaker today, Rev Julie, is absolutely divinely inspired as she shares with us a divine message and connects with each and everyone here today. And we give thanks for all of the practitioners praying over this service. And we give thanks for all of those behind the scenes that make the Zoom service possible. And I give thanks for each and every one here for your beautiful consciousness, for your consciousness adds to the beauty and the wonder of this service. And we give thanks to Reverend Carol for creating the Center for Conscious Living, this beautiful spiritual community where we grow and expand our consciousness as we give thanks for all of our CCL members. And so I give thanks for this new day, for each one here, for this beautiful service. And I accept the blessings for each and every one here today, knowing that each and every one here is blessed beyond measure. And I release this word to the law in gratitude. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you, Chuck. It's beautiful. Now we have the amazing Norman Taylor.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. As we rejoice. As we rejoice. As we rejoice. Love that is always. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. As we rejoice. Yeah, we rejoice. We rejoice. Love that is always. Oh, happy day. We learn how to live, live and pray, live and pray, and we live rejoicing, rejoicing every day, every day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. As we rejoice. We rejoice. We rejoice. Love is always. Oh, happy day. We learn how to live and pray, live and pray. We live rejoicing, we live rejoicing every day, every day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. As we rejoice. We rejoice. We rejoice. The love that is always. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day.
Thank you, Norman. That's beautiful. So I want to reintroduce our first practitioner, Chuck Karstens, to do our inspirational reading.
Thank you. So today's reading is from 365, Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And this is page 103. We are the clay and thou art our potter, and we are all the work of thy hand. And that's from Isaiah 64:8. How can we expect to realize God in the emptiness of space if we have refused to see God in those we meet? And how can we find God in those we meet and in the events that transpire around us unless we first discover God at the center of our own being. We cannot. The starting point is at the center of our own being. When we awaken to the divine within us, it will reach out and embrace everything around us. And it will discover the same presence in people and in events and in all nature. For God is not separate from what he is doing. The divine life is in everyone and everything. This is the secret that Jesus discovered. This is why he was able to speak as no other person ever spoke. This is why he was able to perform the miracles of love and healing, and in so doing, prove a fact so simple, so fundamental, but so powerful that people stand in awe before it. The simple fact that God is right where you are. And now, if we could, well, we can't turn to our bulletins, the chat room. Let us read the affirmation together. Recognizing the conscious support, love, and laughter of this CCL community, I shed any limiting beliefs and open to the infinite possibility within. Knowing as I expand in consciousness, so does the universe. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. So now I'd like to present the class that we had about 3 weeks ago, that ended about 3 weeks ago. Regina Truxell and myself co-facilitated this beautiful class on Dennis Merritt Jones's Your Redefining Moments. If you haven't read it, read it. It'll come back around because I really want to teach this class again. An extraordinary book, easy to read, just profound in its remembering. And I used a lot of the quotes from the book, a lot of the paragraphs from the book in my last talk. It opens us up to the true self, not the masks, not the male, female. It opens us to the knowingness of our divinity. And it guides us to those redefining moments, and they happen all the time. Redefining those old beliefs, those old patterns, to support the true self, the truth of who we are. I'd like to thank Regina for her amazing presence, for her amazing consciousness for during this class. The class, I want to present the class. Andy Daniels, Cassandra Butler.
Hey.
Cheryl, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Casciano, Joanne Del Vecchio, and Carol Hoyt Paulson. Andy, are you there?
Yes.
I'd like you to express something about the class.
Okay. I have taken the other Dennis Merritt Jones classes with Reverend Paul and Reverend Regina, and this one was a continuation of the amazing lessons and reminders. And we came up with the idea to wear hats. So my hat is West Virginia. That's where I was born and raised. And like those of us from smaller states, we always want to turn 18 and get out of there as soon as we can to get some more experience and culture, which is what I did. But this class also reminded me that what we're seeking is within. So I had a lot of reminders and lessons from this book and from the sharing from others, that every moment is a redefining moment. A little experience I had was I was very frustrated with a situation. And then that moment I recognized it and I decided that I was going to make that a redefining moment and I wasn't going to be frustrated anymore. I was going to choose love. So my energy completely shifted in that moment. So those are the lessons that this book reminds you of. And it was a great experience and I recommend that everybody read it or take the class.
Thanks, Andy. Carol? Carol, you have to unmute yourself. There you go.
It was so exciting to be in the class. And Andy, I appreciate what your perspective I always did during class and do now. And for me, I guess this quote says it quite well. Emile Zola, it says, if you ask me what I came into life to do, I will tell you I came to live out loud. And that's what this was able to encourage in me. And as Andy said, I now know that there are redefining moments and that I can choose. And I'm excited to know about my authentic self. And thanks for the class, Paul.
Thank you. Thanks, Carol. That's my sister, by the way. So as Andy said, we wore the hats as self-expression. And that's what a large part of this is expressing the authentic self, the true self. So I really want to thank all of the participants of this class. It was an amazing group of people, amazing group of consciousnesses. We came together in true knowingness. It was an opportunity to truly share with one another and truly get to that point of our authentic self.
Oh,
There's Cassandra. Cassandra, would you like to share?
Oh, well, the best, well, since I'm already a minister, everything extra is kind of like doing CEUs. I love the quotes. And remembering just reading it, getting familiar with a new author. I met new friends in the class. And the quotes were so awesome. Everything about the book, you couldn't help but remember and know that you know that you know that you're one with the one. And that's it. Thank you, Paul and Regina. It was wonderful. Highly recommended.
Cheryl, would you like to share?
Sure, I'll share. So one of the things I found out about redefining moments is that it's very similar to our other practices and teachings in CCL. Real brief story, there was a lady who lived next door who was a master gardener, and she took ill and the house got sold and new people bought it, and they had dogs and kids and motorcycles. And I was starting to feel really stressed out, and they had cut down all the vegetation, and I was feeling very unsafe and exposed and all this stuff, and wanted to put up fences. And then I was taking this class at the time, and I said, well, let me see if I can redefine any of this. And I kind of looked at it and I realized that the roles were reversed, because now I was the older woman and they were the young people next door, because 30 years ago that was me. And I just decided to, redefine it, or, Holy Spirit, help me see this differently, or look at it with love. So in so many of our teachings, we learn to just take a moment and flip it. And so that's what I got out of this class was, redefining. Any moment can be a redefining moment. Thank you for hearing me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you all. Thanks for allowing me to teach this class. When it comes back around, please take it. It's an extraordinary book, and I know you will get a lot out of it. So now we have the amazing, wonderful Julie Fisher, who has been a member of CCL forever. She took ministerial classes with Reverend Carol. She is a yoga instructor. She had her own yoga studio, ran and taught classes in her own yoga studio. She's doing the visioning tonight. She has done a number of visionings for CCL. just an amazing, amazing consciousness. She's led practitioner retreats. I just adore Julie and thank her so much for doing the talk today. So enjoy. Julie Fisher, Reverend Julie Fisher.
Thank you, Paul. Oh, so good to be in this community. I feel like this this community has really rocked this Zoom thing. It's so nice to see everybody and have so much interaction. So here we are, and thank you, Norm, also for the music and the practitioners that are holding space. And it really is such a truly wonderful place to be. And we have a lot of choice in where we can be these days, right? A lot of choice. A lot of choices have been made, and this is what I've been thinking about a lot lately is there's so much talk about we're opening up after this pandemic. Not just a pandemic, but many, many things have gone on in the last year and a half. And I feel so much love and gratitude for all the many turns that our lives have taken, individually, collectively. And there's been a lot of challenge, and we've made a lot of choices. There's been a lot of invitation and opportunity in addition to challenge. So it's come with it, really. So I love the term collateral blessing. So many of us in this community for sure, and millions around the world have found the necessity to really deeply assess what is important and what isn't working, and how we feed our souls, how we feed our communities. And the byproducts of these things are causing so many of us to refocus our priorities and make different decisions, to move differently, to interact differently, to love differently. So our homes have become a hub, right? The hub of our gathering spaces. They've replaced them temporarily. And school at home, work from home, shopping from home, learning from home, church from home, commuting from home, home from home, home. And so much home. Some people are really comfortable in that, and some people have really thrived. Other people have felt imprisoned, stuck at home. Whatever it is that's occurred, however it is that we're being affected, it's positive or negative in our opinions, the invitation is there for all of us for this exponential growth. Whenever we have a big shakeup, this is the time. This is the time where things really can move. And we have grown. We have grown so much. I know in our community, in my community where I spent most of the time of quarantine, I saw people, families playing together. There were many of us out walking. We walked for miles and miles. And, oh my gosh, we learned things. We learned how to garden. We learned how to shop online. We learned a myriad of ways of caring for each other, of reaching out. We've written letters. We've made phone calls. We've checked on our families, our friends, our neighbors. We've walked and talked. We visited museums and colleges and classes and services and great teachers all around the world making themselves available on Zoom in our home. So we've formed our gatherings, our birthday parties, memorial services, support groups, reunions, dinners, happy hours, everything. Somehow they've still managed to go on. It's ingenious. We've prayed together, we've laughed together, we've cried together. We've felt hopeless, exhausted, and we've lifted each other up. We've cleaned our closets, we've left toilet paper at other people's front doors. We put up signs in our windows and sidewalks and social media, things to help people and reach out to community, people that we know, people that we don't know. We figured out Zoom and Venmo and so much technology, so much. So many people, including myself, have learned both how to give and accept help in ways that I've never known how to do before. Such grace follows these big and small acts, such grace. And I think the biggest one for me in all of this, and for so many people that I talk to, is that we have sat quietly. We have sat with ourselves. We have witnessed and been with others in our discomfort. We have sat with it. We have listened deeply. We have stilled, waited, and we have lived in the unknown. We don't ever really know, right? Everything is new in God, everything. But there's a part of us that thinks that we know. And when there's these major shakeups happening, we really feel that unknown space. And we have learned to be there. Sometimes more gracefully than others, but we have learned to do that. I heard some official somewhere saying that we're on track to get back to normal in the next few months and to get back to the way it was. And now, I am dying to go to a movie theater and have some popcorn. This works for me. I'm excited. And gathering with people and hugging everybody. Like that, I'm very much looking forward to that. But that phrase, back to the way it was, you know that deal when something inside you just like rises up and you must listen. And it's like, no, we cannot go back to the way it was. The businesses can open, the doors may be the same ones that had to close. They may look the same. We may look the same. All right, well, I may have not gotten a haircut in a really long time and gained like 1 or maybe a bunch of pounds. So regardless of what we look like, we are not the same people coming back. We are not the same people coming back. And so we have a choice. Are we going to return into the world, into the doings, into the busyness as it moves out and out and out into more and more open? Are we going to return to that more authentic? Are we going to go back into the patterns? There's so many conditioned patterns that we have learned through time. There's so much that the media tells us that can bring us to a point where we're not checking in with ourselves, with our own hearts. And we have a choice. We have this giant, beautiful choice in every moment to listen, to really deeply listen. And at the heart of that choice is freedom, this principle of life. We are free to choose. Freedom lives within us. So maybe you can just take a look at your evolving self. Just take a moment and just check in. How has your heart changed, opened? How does it look? If you were an artist, a creator of beauty, which you are. What does it look like? How is your understanding, your flexibility changed? What is becoming of this? How has your heart been whispering to you? What nudges you lately? What is taking flight? I know some of the things that have really worked for me, that have been really surprising, are very, very seemingly small. Just making more eye contact with people, being more connected, finding out I never really needed to shop for much, a simpler lifestyle, learning to be a lot more compassionate to myself. There's a lot in there. What is guiding you? How will you open up? So we're all graced with the collateral blessing of learning and perceiving through these days, whatever our experience has been. And God, this creative force that has created us, continues to create and change and shift. And so we are free to choose. We can live a life that is unexamined. We're free to do that. We can move in more fully and choose. Respond by expressing what is in our hearts, what has been born in this time. I was talking to Martha Creek about this, and she called the choice evolution or devolution. Devolution. I love a good, clever word, don't you? Sometimes we aren't even aware that we're not fully awake until we observe it, that we've been on autopilot. There's nothing wrong with that. This world is busy. There's so many dynamics. We can go on autopilot in a heartbeat. And so the catch is just notice it and come back. Just notice it and come gently back. Notice it and give yourself a laugh, a giggle. There's a story about this group that is traveling through the desert on camels, and they get to wherever their tenting place is, and one of the camel workers comes running up to the lead person and says, "We got a problem. We have 20 camels and 19 poles, and how are we going to tie them all up?" And the guy says, "Don't worry about it. Just when you get to tie all of the camels up to all the poles, and when you get to the last one, just pretend to do it." So he did. So the worker goes back and he ties everything up, all the camels, everybody's safe and sound. And he takes that last one and goes through all the motions of tying up that last camel. The next morning, he came running into the tent and said, "You'll never believe it. The camel stayed here all night, but now he won't go with the group. We're trying to move the group and he won't move." And the lead guy says, "Well, did you untie him?" And this is what happens to us sometimes, right? We can get held in these beliefs and not understand our freedom. We are not bound. We are not tied. Within us, we are spiritually awake. But like this camel, we can be a little bound to our minds. So we need to claim our freedom, to know, to see beyond this illusion and just simply choose again. Ernest Holmes says, "Evolution is the awakening of the soul to a recognition of its unity to the whole." Norman sang about that. We're all connected with you and everything. Now it is high time to awake of our sleep. He says the belief in a life apart from from good is a dream from the dream from which we must awake if we are to taste the waters of reality which flow from the source of life. So we've all incarnated into a time of incredible distraction from that truth, right? There is a lot going on. So it's important to keep coming back and know that the fundamental truth within you, within all of us, is that God is here. God is closer than breath. What informs you? Where do you get your highest ideas? If you could paint them, what would they look like? You know how like Kathy Milano, Mary Law, they paint, they move, they create all of this art. If you've never seen their stuff, go on one of their websites. Check it out, it's gorgeous. So what does your landscape look like? You can create it in your mind, you can move with it. So there's many places that are telling us so subtly and not so subtly sometimes what to do, how we should feel, how we should act, what we should look like, what our goals should be, what our house should be like, what our life should be, really, right down to the toenails. They'll tell us. We need to be able to discern our own truth. As Norman was singing that, I've got my own way to be. We all have our own way to be. There is one God and all this individualized expression, and we are not the same in that. We all have our own way to be, and we are all connected with each other. So we have a constant way of growing, evolving, and this opening up will push that even further. And we are equipped, we're ready, we have everything we need. When we're aware that we have a choosing nature, then every step is an opportunity to exercise that innate freedom. It's a choice as to whether we'll sleepwalk, go into habitual ways, or be on the road of our own conscious evolution. How will you participate in your own soul's evolution? How will you be? How will you open up? What is yours to do and yours to be and yours to give? We're not here merely to consume and collect. We're innately designed for growth, for community, to be a beneficial presence to humanity. To know that God is within you, and God is not only on your side, but in all sides of you. Every bit, everywhere. So freedom is a birthright that we have. It's the way of creation, and it lives within us. Freedom is not just for those who have done well, who have somehow succeeded, found some truth that nobody else has found. Freedom is for everybody. It's a healing balm. And it's ours to perceive. We don't have to invent it. We don't have to make it happen. It is right here. It is right here and right now. It's a matter of refocusing, right? Inside versus outside. What I am versus what others think. Of what is expected. What I think is expected. And we allow it to activate more and more. The more we do that, the more we choose, the more freedom we get. The more we choose to look in here. And that is the nature of the universe, right? It gets bigger and bigger, it expands. Whatever it is we're looking at expands. And so the struggle that can sometimes come with that is the unraveling of our mental constructs. And that can feel really scary. The new is unknown. We don't like to be an unknown most of the time. Again, though, knowing the truth, staying focused on our own truth, on our own evolution, on our own knowing of what we are, of who we are, of what streams within us, knowing that God is here. We can get more and more comfortable with that unknowing zone. We can get much more comfortable reaching out a hand to a stranger. We can get much more comfortable in talking to each other in a way that is real, in a way that is needed. So sometimes I have a little resistance to the surrender that this asks for. It's a surrender of, the old ways. And, when I really look at it, I look at how I treat me sometimes, and then I look at how God treats me. And I gotta say that God always wins for best treatment. God is not the one who overworked and worried incessantly, refused to surrender and struggled. God has not done that. And so turning to God, turning to that inner light is really something to keep in mind, that God has the highest and best. I was listening to Maya Angelou the other day, that amazing being. She said, she was talking about a rejection she got. We've all been rejected. I hate to be rejected. Don't you hate that? It's like you put yourself out there and boom, no. The answer is no. And so Maya Angelou, she's talking about a rejection that she got. And she says, thank you for saying no, because what I know is that even though I thought I wanted this, that God wants something even more for me. God wants something better. This plan is even better than I could have imagined. And this is true. Look at your life. See how this is true for you. It's true for each of us in our own way. I could write a list. And God wants us not just to live our best life, but to thrive a phenomenal life, to go way beyond surviving, way beyond existing. Phenomenate. Here's another word. I heard that somewhere this week. Let's phenomenate. And when we do this, we release and we surrender and we let freedom lead. We become even greater beneficial presence in every aspect of our life. It's not just for us. It's not just for us. This life is one life. We are so interconnected. Everything good that you do for yourself today, you do for everybody. Every time you vibrate at a higher level, you are giving that option to more and more. And so as we continue to shed limiting patterns and open up to the sparks of possibility that have grown inside over this time, we share this immense opportunity of expansion, of collective expansion. And so let's do this. Let's celebrate our freedom. Let's celebrate each other. And so just affirm, I am here to live. I am here to live. I choose to flow in the freedom of life. I choose to continue expressing and exploring, to stay on my own cutting edge, to phenomenate on this path of my own evolution, to live in the comfort of my God-filled soul. And I choose to listen to the guidance where this comes from. Thank you so much for joining in together, for listening, for being. Love you. Blessings.
Beautiful and inspiring message, Reverend Julie. Thank you so
Beautiful,
much.
Julie.
Please repeat after me the blessing of our offering. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. Now is an opportunity for all of us to open the floodgates to receiving and tithing to this beautiful community, to letting go and letting the divine flow in, letting the flow of money flow into our experience by giving. As I give, I do receive. The opportunities are in the chat for you to tithe to CCL, and we appreciate all the tithes. We love you. Norman?
This goes along with that. When your problems won't go away and you worry night and day, hand it over and pray. When you're feeling low, got no money, nowhere to go, hand it over and pray. Ain't no mountain you can't climb, no answer you can't find. All you need is a hand to hold. Heal your body, feed your soul. If you're lost and you can't find your way, let it guide the way over and pray. Hand it over, hand it over. Give it up, give it over, hand it over and pray. Ain't no mountain you can't climb, no answer you can't find. All you need is a hand to hold. It'll heal your body, feed your soul. If you're lost and you can't find your way, let that spirit guide the way. Hand it over, hand it over, hand it over and pray.
Beautiful, Norman. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we have a blessing for new members, if there are any, and it's also for all of us. This blessing is for all of us. So if you'll repeat after me. Welcome to the Center for Conscious Living. We are a heart-centered spiritual community. We open ourselves to you in love. We recognize the perfection of God within you. We celebrate the joyous being that you are. You are a radiant point of light, and we are blessed by your presence. Welcome home. And we have a part of the Mastermind Covenant that you can repeat. The love of God unfolds me. The mind of God inspires me. The Spirit of God enlightens me. The power of God encircles me. I am in God and all is well. For I am enthusiastic, excited, expectant, and at peace. I'm grateful God has heard you. Turn to your neighbor, turn to your Zoom friend and say, I'm grateful God has heard you. Hey. Now we have a number of announcements. First, tonight, Reverend Julie is doing a visioning, 7 o'clock, Julie? Yeah, 7 o'clock tonight is the visioning. Come join us. It's actually, it's for all of us. It's for us to be able to share in God's vision for CCL. We all get an opportunity to open up to the divine and add to that collective consciousness, to that knowingness that this is the true path for CCL. So please come join us. Julie is an amazing facilitator, and it will be awesome. Speaking of Julie, every morning she does a chant from 8 to 8:30. Yeah, from 8 to 8:30, right, Julie?
Yes, we're
So speak.
we're chanting in a simple Sanskrit chant every morning for peace. So it's free. If you'd like to join us, you're more than welcome. You'll be on mute. You don't have to worry about your voice. If that's a thing. We just catch a little sweet vibration and then go off on our day.
Nice. What a way to start the day. Thanks, Julie. And speaking of free, on the April 16th, Friday, this upcoming Friday, from 11 to 9 is a free workshop given by Anton, the Affiliated New Thought Network. They wanted to do something for our community, all of the churches, that all of the centers that are under the umbrella of Anton. They are our support. They're amazing, and they're giving this free workshop. You can still sign up for it. The details of the retreat are in the newsletter. There's music, inspirational speakers, workshops, meditations, yoga, happy hour for fellowship and friends. It's gonna be amazing. When I found out about it, I was like, yes, I'm there, and it's free. So please come join us. The red tent happened last night. The men's group is on the 19th. Black Indigenous people of color, which Haji is leading, is happening at noon on the 25th. Amazing consciousness. If you were drawn to that, it is. I'm positive it's amazing because it's Haji. First Sunday of the month we have the Oneness Blessing and the a Meditation Sunday. Want to also remind everybody that after the service from 11 to 12, Reverend Michael and I are Reverend Michael's going to put our numbers in the chat. If you would like a 3-minute miracle, please text us and we'll call you back. I can't say enough about the 3-minute miracles. You get an opportunity to get out of the condition of whatever we're in, and you allow us to do the prayer because we can stand in the knowingness of the divine, because we're not caught in the angst and the condition of whatever it is. And we can know and speak the spiritual truth for you. So if it calls to you, please, please take us up on these beautiful, beautiful prayers. I also want to announce we have the May 2nd, we're having a new members Zoom, and we're also inviting people who would like to look at being a new member. So come join us. We'll be talking about the church, talking about CCL, talking about joining, talking about our path to get to CCL, what we've done in CCL. So we invite you to come join us on May 2nd. It's a wonderful little get together, and you'll get to know more about the church and about us, and decide if you would like to join CCL. Classes. We have the spiritual life visioning tonight with Julie that I already talked about. Vegan Starter Kit. Vegan Starter Kit is led by Regina DeBarberi, and it's an informative thing. It lets you know the ways that you can go vegan. She's done it Regina's done it for many years, very good at it, and she's going to impart her wisdom to the class. It's from May 19th to June 9th, 7 to 8:30. The cost is $60. And if you're interested, call the church office. Now, Aji is doing a class on mindful of race, transforming racism from the inside out. Again, anything that Haji's doing, do it, because she is amazing. This will be a wonderful class. Aji, are you here? Aji, are you here? Nope. Okay.
Well, Paul, Rev Julie is here and she can talk about her class.
Okay. Reverend Julie? Oh, I'm sorry. That's the life. Got it. I missed it. Go ahead.
So we're doing tonight that is that is directed towards CCL, and where this beautiful community is moving towards, and then we have separately a 4-week class that is a spring tune-up. It's going to be on Wednesdays, starting in, I'm sorry, I don't have the date in front of me.
It's April 21st through May 12th.
April 21st. So we're going to meet for 4 weeks and go over the process of spiritual life visioning, which is a wonderful meditative way of opening and deeply listening to what is wanting to come through you, and then from there, what is it that we need to release? What is it that needs more expression? And we're going to go through that, and we're going to have 4 different topics that are really relevant to a lot of what we're kind of talking about. So really focusing on what we don't need so that we can travel lighter. So I hope you can join us.
Absolutely. Julie is an amazing facilitator. Thank you. It will be a brilliant class. So now we have Norman with our concluding song.
This little light, gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Just gonna let it shine. Ain't gonna make it shine. Just gonna let it shine. Ain't gonna make it shine. Just gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine. Gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. Gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Thank you, Norman. And here's Reverend Michael Rogers with our concluding.
Thank you. And I would love for Chuck, our first practitioner, to read that.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Reverend Paul.
Chuck, sorry.
And so if you will repeat after me, something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my body. Life is in my mind. Life is in my feelings. Life is in all my activities. I receive it. I share it. I am it. And I accept it just the way that it is. Thank you, life. And for all these glorious gifts from God, we say yes.
Yes. Hey.
I am.
Thank you, Chuck.
My pleasure.
Well done, Paul.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody.
Thank you. Blessings,
Thank you for
everybody.
being here. Thanks, Reverend Carol.
Great, Julie. Thank you. And
Oh,
lovely to
Julie,
see you
beautiful, Julie.
now, too.
Inspiring message, Reverend Julie. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you.
Good job, Reverend Paul.
Love you guys.
Chuck, you said that like a minister.
Yeah.
I felt it.
I heard the preacher coming out. Yeah.
Thanks, Felicia.
Thank
Who is Judy Mintzer?
Oh, God.
Selena,
Hello. I am
we get to see that pretty face.
Oh my heavens, hi.
I am trying to redefine my new smartphone. I have never had a smartphone, and I am doing my best after this service to shine love on it. It's been causing me so much stress. But anyhow, so good to see you all and be with you all. And thank you.
It's good to see you too.
Oh, thanks.
That's great seeing
Reverend Ken,
And there's Reverend Ken.
I'm looking forward to you
Ken, Reverend Ken.
as our guest
Bye-bye.
speaker the last Sunday of the month.
Me too.
I see.
Yay!
Thank you, everybody.
Hi, Peggy.
Bye-bye.
Have a great week.
Yeah. Hi, Linda.
Thank you and love to
Linda, you're in the
everybody
woods.
from the New
Wow.
Jersey Turnpike.
I push that again.
Watch out for that tree.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but that was a great message, Julie. Thank you.
It was a great day. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Peggy.
Hi, Peggy.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Katura.
Hi, June.
I'm gonna go. I got
Laura. Hi, Michael. Hi, Paul.
hi,
Bye,
hi,
Michael.
hi.
Thank you for your
Good
help.
job, Paul.
Thank you for your help.
I have to do prayer. I'll see you.
Bye,
Bye.
Michael.
Have a blessed day and week.
Have a great day.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Love
Nice
you
to see
all. Thank you for
everybody.
coming today.
Bye.
Thanks for your love and support. Thanks, Chuck and Felicia.
Thank
Couldn't
you,
do
Norm.
without you.
Bye.
Hi, Katura.
Katura.
Reverend Hoyt. How are you? How was
I'm
everything?
excellent. It's good to
Good.
see you.
Great. Good to be here.
Have a great day, everyone.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
what's the F?
Hi, Junie
What's the
June.
F? Is that an F on your sweatshirt? There. Yeah.
Flossie, my mother's name.
Oh, what is
Oh, beautiful.
Flossie?
Beautiful.
Oh,
Yes.
well, happy Mother's Day a little soon, everybody.
Not far off.
Every day is Mother's Day. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Bye, Selena.
Bye. Bye-bye.